it turns out that they had just fired Sammy Van Halen. It was like 96. That I remember. And they just fired Sammy, and they were looking, this was their line. This is what they said to me. They go, we're just looking for somebody to come up and sing on some of these tracks that we're doing, because we just want to hear what it sounds like with a voice, while we look for a singer. And I was like, excuse me, Van Halen? Oh, my like, all your childhoods, all my young, I couldn't believe it. I was like in complete shock. You know what I mean? And he just lived a 5-minute drive up, I like to call it hot water canyon, but it's cold water canyon,
Right.
away from me. So I was like, sure, I'll be there in an hour. To get to the gates, it was so imposing, and you better come alone. And I'm like, I'm all alone. I have no backup, and it was so terrifying. Oh my God. And anyways, drive up to the studio, which you had to pass the main house, big old huge mansion, up to the studio, and I think it was Ed's guitar tech who came out and got me, Scotty. And it was just Alex and Scotty and me for like 4 months.
Wow, for 4 months.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was bizarre, but basically, what was I couldn't figure out what the hell I was doing, because we kept they would play me stuff, I would play them stuff, we'd talk, they'd start blathering on about how this one's an asshole and this is a jerk and that guy's a fool, and then Al and I would go out for dinner, and he would make us sit with our backs to the wall to watch everybody coming in. He was full CIA stuff, like.
What? So
oh my God.
So where are these tapes, Sass?
Here's the thing. We never recorded a note.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's not wild.
Oh my God! You don't even have like a cassette memory
I had a cassette of some of the stuff they were working on. I had a cassette of some of the stuff that they were working on. They were saying, like, can you just put like some kind of lyric or vocal over this? And I just remember it being so sort of disjointed, and that wasn't the way I worked at all. Like, I needed to work with you in the room, and let's figure out the structure of this song, kind of thing. So all of a sudden, it was so weird. I used to have to go and get all their beer, cigarettes for them. I used to have to go and get all their beer, cigarettes for them. I was basically bum boy number one. Is what
oh my God!
Oh yeah, man. Because they were supposedly on the wagon at the time.
Okay.
So they couldn't be seen out in public.
Right.
And they couldn't send anyone. I don't know why the frick they sent me. One night I said to Ed, it was like 2:00 in the morning. I said, listen, I don't want to go by myself. You can bloody well come with me. I'm sick of it. I don't want to go by myself. And he goes, fine, I'll come with you. Comes with me. So we go down to the supermarket, which is on the corner of Coldwater and the other street that I can't think of right now because I'm in the middle of my story. It's like the most famous Ventura Boulevard. Thank you. So on the corner of Coldwater and Ventura, it was a huge market at the time. It's not anymore. It's now a Ralph's or something. I don't know. Anyways, 2:00 in the morning, place is empty. Parking lot is empty. We go in, we go back to the section where you can get the beer, and somebody appeared. And they're like, Are you Ed? Are you Eddie Van Halen? And he's like, oh, can I get an autograph? Within 5 minutes, 2:30 in the morning, he was like mobbed. There were like 10 people all like trying to get photographs. This is before cell phones too. So you had to get like those disposable cameras.
Right.
It was insane. I was petrified. I'm like, oh my God. And he's like looking at me Going, you see? Mm-hmm.
He told you.
We get back to it. He goes, that's why I can't go.
So how did this finally end?
How did it end? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one day I looked at them. They were behind, I don't know, we were listening to something in the control room, and they were sitting behind the board, and I was sitting in the couch, and all of a sudden I got this, it was so bizarre. I got this intense feeling that they're thinking of asking me to be the singer in this band. Oh my God. And it dawned on me, this is why I've been here all this time. This is why they're telling me all this stuff. This is why they're making me listen to all this stuff. This is, God knows why we haven't sung anything yet, but they hadn't gotten there yet. You know what I mean? Anyway, I turned around and I look at them and I said, you guys aren't thinking of having like a female singer in this band, are you? And both of them, they stare at me. They're both of them, their eyes go super wide and they're like, no. Hey. Basically, they went, well, might as well have said, yeah. Oh. But, the thing is that I didn't even say me. I said a female singer.
Right.
Because as I'm thinking this, I'm thinking, a girl singing Hot for Teacher? A girl singing all these? Oh, no. And that's all I could think of, because at that age, I was a dumbass, basically. And it didn't even occur to me that what a great idea that would have been.
Yeah, no kidding.
Time, I was just a turkey. Let's face it. Anyway, been a turkey a long time.
Did you stay in touch?
Only I saw them a couple of times. By the way, I have to finish saying that I spoke to Ray that night. What happened was they asked me, and then their eyes went really big, and I went, I sure hope that's not what you're thinking, because I can't think of anything more ridiculous than Van Halen with a female singer. That's what I said to them.
Wow.
Like I signed my own exit warrant. That night I called Ray and I said, I swear to God, Ray, I swear they were thinking of having me in the band. He goes, of course they were. I told them that was an asshole idea. I'm like, oh, thanks, bro.
Yeah, that's a good move.
So they had Ray and me going, don't do this. But meanwhile, if you think about it, Ray was also managing Extreme, and he wanted to get his boy in there.
Wow.
See, remember that?
Yeah, sure do.
So that's what happened.
I sure
and
do.
That's why. Anyway, aside from all of that, I did we stayed in touch for a while. I was doing that TV show, Canadian Idol.
Right.
The last time I saw them. And they came through, I think, twice. And we hung out twice. And I remember my daughter, Stella, being like, she was like 5 years old or something. And we were at the hotel with Al, Ed, and all the kids and the wives and the this and that, the other thing. And Eddie was half in the bag and running around the hotel floor, chasing after the kids. But just like, and like, just playing with them and laughing, and all the kids are screaming and laughing hysterically. And then we all tumble into an elevator together. And Ed just comes in at the last minute, and he looks pretty rough. He was like, I think he was heavily drinking at the time and just not in great shape. He looked pretty bad. But anyways, he's leaning against the back of the elevator, and my daughter, 5-year-old Stella, goes up to him, and she waggles her finger in his nose. She goes, I just saw your concert. You're really, really good. Really good.
How sweet. What a nice...
He thought was the most adorable, hilarious. He just started, he collapsed laughing. He's a very gentle soul.
Wow.
He cried easily.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was a beautiful guy.
Everybody I've spoken to has had a similar story, and I just looked at the clock. I'm out of racetrack.
You gotta go. Okay, sorry.
No. But I was just going to say, Sass, thanks for one of the greatest stories in the history of the world. I don't think a lot of people know this story. This is pretty cool.